Ninth order is a motion on urgent need to address the breach of the Public Enterprises Privatization and Commercialization Act.
And I'm from Enugu State. Speaker, honorable colleagues, an urgent need to address the breach of Public Enterprises Privatization and Commercialization Act 1999 in the concessioning of the Nigerian Railways Corporation to the General Electric Company of the United States of America. The House recalls that the National Council on Privatization had on the 16th of April 2015 considered and approved that the Bureau for Public Enterprise to, in collaboration with the NIAF, the Nigeria Infrastructure Advisory Facility, commence preparatory works towards the concessioning of the Nigeria Railways Corporation and to develop a roadmap for the process in accordance with the powers vested in it by Section 6.3 of the said Act. The House notes that based on the aforesaid approval, the BPE and the NIAF developed a roadmap for the concessioning in the form of an outlined business case for the Western, which is the Lagos-Kano, and the Eastern, Port Harcourt-Maiduguri rail lines, preparatory to implementing the transaction, despite the fact that the Nigerian Railways Corporation Act did not envisage a concessioning of the corporation. The House take cognizance that the BPE, in collaboration with the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, ICRC, established the Project Steering Committee and Project Delivery Team, the PDT, for the concessioning, and both the PSC and the PDT were inaugurated on Friday, August 12, 2016, by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibanjo. The House is aware that the BPE had already engaged the Global Infrastructure Facility and the World Bank in discussions on assessing funding for the transaction advisors. Also aware that the federal government had already constituted a task force headed by the Honorable Minister of Finance to drive the transaction process as was approved on Tuesday, 16th April 2015 by the NCP, contrary to the provisions of the BPE Act. The House is further aware that the federal government is already in discussions with General Electric with a view to procuring them as concessionaire for the NRC tracks. The House therefore resolves to constitute an ad hoc committee to investigate the engagement of GE, General Electric of the United States of America, in violation of the Public Enterprises Privatization and Commercialization Act 1999, and report back to this Honorable House within 4 weeks for further legislative action. I so move, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues.
Minority Whip. Honorable Ujam, 2 minutes to lead the debate.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, thank you once again for yielding the floor to me. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, as a responsible House, we cannot sit back in clear conscience and see the laws that we, the representatives of the Nigerian people, have sat back to enact being usurped or violated. Let me take you down memory lane. The Privatization Act 1999, as amended, has sections in it that detail enterprises that should be privatized, mode of privatization, even establishes tenure of office of members of the council, functions and their powers, partial and full commercialization, and special provisions. Honorable colleagues, I do not see how the Federal Executive Council will sit and usurp powers that belong clearly to the NCP cum BPE. This is clearly a violation of the act that was produced from this great parliament. It begs one serious question. Have we thrown due diligence out through the window? The Act is enacted to ensure even proper valuation of companies that are being privatized. So what happened? That's the big question, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, that I seek answers to. There is a process established and laid down. Mr. Speaker, I believe the question of how GE came on board here should be answered. These are the salient points, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Thank you.